Hey Ellie, this is Mr. Lin. Luckily for you, you get your very own video. So I just got your email. You said you were struggling with number 7. This is on mod 10 and 12. So here we go. So number 7 says the number of headphones sold S after T years can be modeled by the function. Don't get scared off by this function. We typically don't see things like that, or at least we haven't in this class, but they're just trying to mess with you. Anyway, modeled by the function that if 70,000 headphones were sold in the first 4 years, what is the rate? So we've got our T and we've got our S of T. And so step 1 is we can just plug everything in. So that's what we'll do. So we've got, just make sure I have enough room. So we've got 70,000 equals 175,000 minus 175,000 e to the negative RT. And it gets a little bit easier to write here in just a minute. So just kind of doing some regular algebra stuff. We want to get this part all by itself. So we're just going to subtract both sides. Ooh, can I change colors? I can't change colors. So we're going to subtract 175,000 from both sides. And then we're going to have, and again, don't be afraid of the negative sign because it actually does cancel out eventually here. So we've got 70,000 minus 175. We've got minus 105. And again, I'm bad at basic arithmetic, so I used a calculator. E to the power of negative RT. So, that T, we know what that T is. That T is 4. So I'm going to go ahead and write that in too. So we want to get that E to it by itself. E by itself. So again, we're going to divide by both sides by that negative 175,000. And that's where our negative sign is going to drop out. Because it would be weird to have a negative sign in the rest of this problem. So now, there goes my calculator. So we've got 0.6 equals E to the power of negative R4. So we're ready to do our, this is, I guess, the fancy part that we're done, or the logarithm part. So we are actually going to take the natural log of both sides. So we're doing that because we have this E that we want to get rid of. So we are going to take the natural log of both sides, and natural log of E cancels each other out. So on the right side of our equation, we just have negative R times 4 left over, and then we have natural log of 0.6. So then again, we're just going to divide both sides by a negative 4. And again, don't panic or don't let the negative 4 kind of mess you up. They're just trying to see if you're paying attention or not. So we're going to have natural log of 0.6 divided by negative 4. So I'm using my calculator again. I had it take 0.6, turn it into a fraction. So that actually equals natural log of 3 3/5 over 4, which, oh, negative. There should be a negative sign. Which I believe is this guy right here. Which I think that was the right answer. I looked it up, but then I erased it, so there you go. So that's how you're going to do it. The trick there, again, I guess the super mathy part that we learned is this part right here. And that's just being able to take either the log base 10 or the natural log of both sides of the equation. So right there. All right, and you said 12 as well. Make sure I have enough space over here. So a retirement account offers 8% annual interest rate, compounded monthly. If an account starts with $5,500, how many years will it take until the account balance triples? Round the answer to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So this is our compound interest equation. This is an equation that I will give you. But that equation is A is equal to P, which is your principal interest rate, 1 plus your rate divided by N. N is the amount of times compounded yearly. And then T is in years. So it says 8%. So our rate is equal to 0.08. Turn it into a decimal. Compounded monthly. There are 12 months in a year, so N is going to be equal to 12. It starts with 5,500, so our P, or initial principal, is that number. And then our account balance triples, so our A is just going to be 5,500 times 3. Times 3. Which I totally did in my head. I used a calculator. So now we have everything except for T. So we can plug all that in and do some mathy math. Let's get rid of that. So here we go. So our A is 16,500. Our P is, man, I can't wait to cancel some of these things out so I don't have to worry about them. 1 plus our rate is 0.08 over 12. Our N is 12T. So since I have all that written down, I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff so that I don't run out of room. So step 1, I'm going to simplify this because this is ridiculous already. So first I'm going to divide both sides by that number. And I'm going to simplify this into a decimal point or whatever my calculator decides to put it in. It's going to be a decimal. So dividing both sides by 5,500. So we have 3 equals, okay, that, I should have known that. Duh. That's how we found it. Whatever. So now that the second part, 0.08 divided by 12 is a number, plus 1 is a repeating number. So I'm going to use my calculator to turn that back into a fraction. Oh, that's great. Whatever. 151 over 150. And I'm leaving it as a fraction right now because it's technically more precise. We have to switch it into, I think, hundredths later on. We'll get there. Okay, so there we're at there. So now we need to get that t by itself, or in this case, that 12t. So let's see here. How are we going to do that? So we're going to use our logarithm. You can technically use natural log or log base 10, but typically for these problems you use log base 10. But our definition of log, well, you can do this one of two ways. You can either take the log of both sides and then play with it from there. I think the way we've done it most of the time in class is using the definition of log and say, ooh, do I want to do that? Whatever, it's fine. So using the definition of log, we're going to say log base, this is our base, so that means log base 151 over 150 of 3 equals 12t. So my calculator can definitely not handle that log base. So we're going to use the change of log base property, and that says, and we'll use common log. So log of 3 over log of 151 over 150 equals 12t. So then we're going to divide both sides by 12, and we'll have our answer, right? So t, so when I enter this into the calculator, I can't do it from this video, or I can't show it to you, but I'm going to enter all of this first, and when I have that answer, I'm going to then divide that answer by 12. Okay, so here I go. So log of 3 divided by, and I'm going to put all this in parentheses. Actually, I don't really need to, but might as well. Log of 151 divided by 150. So that equals 165.34 divided by 12. So my t equals 13.778. They said to the nearest hundredth if necessary. So 13.78. So how many years will it take until the account balance triples? It will take 13.78 years. And I think that was what the right answer is. 13.78. So there you go. Those are your two problems. I hope this helps. If it doesn't, we do have time tomorrow in class, and then you'll have tomorrow evening that we can continue to work through problems. So just let me know, and good luck.